President Trump is at it again. His trade policies are once more making headlines and stirring up debates across the nation. In 2025, he has reignited his trade war, a move that has sent shockwaves through global markets and has everyone talking. He imposed new tariffs on a range of goods from electronics to agricultural products, affecting a wide array of industries. These tariffs are essentially taxes on imports, which means that any foreign product entering the U.S. will now be more expensive. They make foreign products more expensive, leading to higher prices on the shelves for everyday consumers. Trump believes this will protect American jobs by making domestic products more competitive against their foreign counterparts. He wants to encourage consumers to buy American, hoping that this will boost the local economy and create more jobs within the country. These tariffs are not without controversy. Many people, including economists and business leaders, are voicing their concerns. Critics argue they will harm the U.S. economy in the long run, leading to a decrease in international trade and potential retaliation from other countries. They say consumers will face higher prices on a wide range of goods, from groceries to electronics, making everyday life more expensive. Businesses will suffer from increased costs, as they will have to pay more for imported materials and components, which could lead to higher production costs and lower profit margins. Some experts predict that these tariffs could lead to inflation, as businesses pass on the higher costs to consumers. Internationally, the response has been mixed. Some countries are considering retaliatory tariffs, which could escalate into a full-blown trade war. American farmers who rely heavily on exports are particularly worried. They fear that retaliatory tariffs could hurt their sales and livelihoods. Online shoppers are also feeling the pinch, as many e-commerce platforms source products from overseas, leading to higher prices for online goods. The political landscape is heating up, with debates in Congress and public protests becoming more frequent as people express their opinions on the new tariffs. Small businesses are trying to adapt by finding new suppliers or increasing their prices, but the uncertainty is making it difficult for them to plan for the future. As the situation unfolds, economists and analysts are closely monitoring the impact of these tariffs on the U.S. economy and the global market. President Trump remains steadfast in his belief that these tariffs are necessary to protect American interests and strengthen the economy. Only time will tell if his bold move will pay off, or if it will lead to further economic challenges for the nation. The tariffs target a wide range of countries. These tariffs are part of a broader strategy to address what the administration sees as imbalances in global trade. The goal is to create a more level playing field for American businesses and workers. By imposing these tariffs, the administration hopes to encourage other countries to change their trade practices and policies. China is a primary focus. The country has been at the center of the trade debate for years, with many accusing it of engaging in practices that give its industries an unfair advantage. These practices include subsidies for Chinese companies, currency manipulation, and intellectual property theft. The tariffs are seen as a way to pressure China into making significant changes to its trade policies. Trump has long accused China of unfair trade practices. He believes that these practices have led to the loss of millions of American jobs and the decline of key industries. In his speeches, Trump often highlights the trade deficit with China, which he argues is a sign of an unbalanced and unfair trading relationship. Protests and debates about these issues have been ongoing, reflecting the deep divisions over how to handle trade with China. He imposed a 25% tariff on steel and aluminum imports. These tariffs are intended to protect American steel and aluminum producers from foreign competition. By making imported metals more expensive, the administration hopes to boost domestic production and create jobs in these industries. Critics, however, argue that the tariffs could lead to higher prices for consumers and retaliatory measures from other countries. Canada and Mexico are also caught in the crossfire. As major trading partners of the United States, they are significantly affected by these tariffs. The tariffs have strained relations with these neighboring countries, leading to tense negotiations and discussions about the future of trade agreements like NAFTA. Both Canada and Mexico have expressed their concerns and have taken steps to protect their own industries. They are major suppliers of these metals to the U.S. The tariffs have disrupted supply chains and created uncertainty for businesses that rely on these imports. Companies in Canada and Mexico are now facing increased costs and challenges in maintaining their competitiveness in the U.S. market. This has led to calls for exemptions and adjustments to the tariffs to minimize the impact on these important trading relationships. Trump argues that these tariffs are necessary. He believes that they are a crucial part of his broader economic strategy to revitalize American manufacturing and protect jobs. At rallies and public events, Trump often speaks directly to workers, promising that the tariffs will lead to a resurgence in American industry. He emphasizes the need to stand up to unfair trade practices and to prioritize the interests of American workers. He says they will protect American jobs. The administration argues that by reducing dependence on foreign metals, the U.S. can strengthen its own industrial base and create more opportunities for American workers. Job fairs and initiatives to support manufacturing are part of this effort, aiming to connect workers with new opportunities in a revitalized industrial sector. He wants to reduce the trade deficit. The trade deficit, which is the difference between the value of imports and exports, has been a major concern for the administration. By imposing tariffs and renegotiating trade agreements, the goal is to reduce this deficit and create a more balanced trade relationship with other countries. This is seen as essential for long-term economic stability and growth. This is the difference between imports and exports. A lower trade deficit is believed to be beneficial for the economy, as it indicates that the country is exporting more and relying less on foreign goods. The administration's trade policies are aimed at achieving this balance, despite the controversies and challenges they have sparked. The impact of these policies will continue to be a topic of debate and analysis in the years to come. Canada and Mexico were quick to respond. They condemned the tariffs as unfair. They announced retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods. Mexico targeted agricultural products like pork and cheese. Canada targeted steel and aluminum products. These retaliatory tariffs are designed to hurt the U.S. economy. They aim to pressure Trump to reconsider his actions. The situation has created uncertainty for businesses and consumers on both sides of the border. American businesses are feeling the impact of the tariffs. These tariffs, imposed as part of trade disputes, are creating a ripple effect across various sectors. From small businesses to large corporations, the economic strain is palpable. Business owners are increasingly worried about their future, and the uncertainty is taking a toll on their operations. Manufacturers are facing higher costs. The increased expenses are not just limited to raw materials but extend to every aspect of production. The cost of machinery maintenance, transportation, and even labor has seen a significant rise. This surge in operational costs is squeezing profit margins and making it difficult for businesses to sustain themselves. The tariffs have increased the price of raw materials. Essential materials like steel, aluminum, and other industrial inputs are now more expensive. This price hike is cascading down the supply chain, affecting every stage of production. Companies are struggling to absorb these costs without passing them on to consumers. This is making it harder for them to compete. In a global market, where every penny counts, American businesses are finding it challenging to keep up with international competitors who are not facing the same tariff burdens. The competitive edge that many American companies once enjoyed is now being eroded. Some companies have been forced to raise prices. To cope with the increased costs, businesses have no choice but to pass some of these expenses on to consumers. This has led to higher prices for everyday goods, from groceries to electronics, affecting the average American household. Others have had to lay off workers. The financial strain is leading to tough decisions. Many companies are resorting to layoffs to cut costs, resulting in job losses and economic instability for many families. The ripple effect of these layoffs is felt throughout communities, leading to reduced spending and further economic decline. The tariffs are disrupting supply chains. The smooth flow of goods that businesses rely on is being interrupted. Delays at ports, increased shipping costs, and logistical challenges are becoming the new norm. This disruption is causing significant delays in production schedules and delivery times. Businesses rely on global trade. The interconnected nature of modern commerce means that companies depend on a complex web of international suppliers and customers. Any disruption in this network can have far-reaching consequences, affecting everything from production timelines to customer satisfaction. They import components from different countries. Many American businesses rely on imported components to complete their products. These components are often sourced from multiple countries, each playing a crucial role in the final assembly. The tariffs are making it more challenging to obtain these necessary parts. The tariffs are making it more difficult and expensive to source these materials. The increased costs and logistical hurdles are forcing businesses to rethink their supply chains. Some are looking for alternative suppliers, while others are trying to negotiate better terms with existing ones. However, these efforts are not always successful, leading to further complications. This is leading to production delays and shortages. The inability to secure necessary materials on time is causing production lines to halt. Idle machines and empty production lines are becoming a common sight. These delays are not only affecting the businesses, but also their customers, who are facing longer wait times for products and services. North American neighbors at odds. The tariffs have strained relations between the United States, Canada, and Mexico. These countries are close allies. They share a long history of economic cooperation. The tariffs have created tension and mistrust. Leaders from the three countries have been engaged in talks. They are trying to find a resolution to the trade dispute. So far, progress has been slow. The situation remains tense. A glimmer of hope: negotiations and delays. Despite the tensions, there have been some positive developments. The Trump administration has agreed to delay some of the tariffs. This will give negotiators more time to reach a deal. There are also ongoing discussions about a new trade agreement. The United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, or USMCA, is meant to replace NAFTA. It is unclear if the USMCA will be enough to resolve the current trade dispute. The high cost of protectionism. The tariffs imposed by Trump are part of a broader trend. It is called protectionism. This is the practice of shielding domestic industries from foreign competition. Protectionist policies often involve tariffs, quotas, and other trade barriers. While protectionism might seem appealing, it has costs. It can lead to higher prices for consumers. It can reduce competition and innovation. In the long run, it can harm economic growth. A world on edge. The global impact. The trade war between the U.S. and its trading partners is having a global impact. It is creating uncertainty in the global economy. Businesses are delaying investments. Consumers are worried about the future. The tariffs are also contributing to rising tensions between countries. This is making it harder to address global challenges. These challenges include climate change and nuclear proliferation. The future of trade in an uncertain world. The future of global trade is uncertain. The outcome of the current trade war is unclear. It is possible that a negotiated settlement can be reached. It is also possible that the situation will escalate. The outcome of this trade war will have long-term consequences. It will shape the global economy for years to come. It remains to be seen whether reason or rhetoric will prevail.